We're ready to go, team. Let's get ready to do this for 45 minutes to be locked in 2, in 1. Let's go, team. Hello, what is up and welcome to Motosumo. My name is Ben. I am your instructor for this class, team. Hope you're very excited. I'm streaming to you all the way from London. I see we got Ingy from Wales in and we got Poppy in as well. The dream team. Welcome, Motosumo, to your 45-minute endurance game. This class is all about endurance. It's literally in the name. It is one of our slightly longer classes as well, so it might as well be that endurance one. The way this one works is you sort of have to settle into it. So it's the sort of class where we're bringing that intensity down ever so slightly. So you're going to be moving sort of constantly throughout the whole class, but only towards the end when you really start to feel the benefits, but also it being really hard. So we're going to bring that intensity down ever so slightly throughout the majority of this class. Yes, Tariq, and we're going to get ready to go, team. In that resistance zero, remember, the main things we're looking at today are your cadence, which is basically your speed, which is that little RPM meter on your screen, and also is your resistance. Remember, we've got 4 main resistances, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we all start in that resistance zero. So way at the bottom of that bike, team, we bring it all the way down and we get ready to go, team, in that resistance zero, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1, let's go.
We break down.
So we're just getting those legs moving. Just taking it easy to start off with. We've got a solid team today and on that leaderboard. That's what we like to see. Everyone is in and ready, yes. And as always, we're just starting to loosen up. So I want you to just shake those arms off, shake them off. Shake out any sort of stress or anything, just start to roll your shoulders back. Anything that's going on outside, off the bike, for the next 45 minutes, doesn't matter. Cool? Doesn't matter. This is what it's all about, yeah? This is what it's all about. Whatever's going on this bike right now, I want you to be present. I want you to be with me. At least for now. At least during this warm-up. Just as we start to take those legs around. So you'll notice that obviously we all start in that resistance zero, but that resistance zero is super easy and we don't want to be here for too long. So keeping those legs moving. We're going to take it up into resistance 1. Find that resistance 1 for me. Oh, still nice and easy. Let's go into your first little push pace. Let's put a minute on the clock, team. Everyone bringing it up into that yellow zone. If you're not there already, 2, 1, let's go. 60 seconds. Just build into it, remember. This is just your first one. We got plenty to go. And because it is that endurance game, we sort of hold that ever so slightly lower intensity throughout the majority of this class. The reason is we do that is because if you hold that slightly lower intensity for a super long period of time, this time is 45 minutes, and you notice the benefits and you notice how hard it's going to get that a little bit later on. Yes, Mal, of course up. So everyone into that yellow zone. Yellow zone is at 90 to 109. So I'm giving you a big sort of 19 RPM buffer there. We can go where you want. There's no need to go into the red for now. Look, I know you can. I know we've got some speedsters on the board. We don't need to for now. We're just getting into it. 2, 1, pulling it back. Cool, I want you to shake it off again. Let's shake those arms up. Let's roll those shoulders back. Take your head around one way. Take your head around the other way. And then I want you to just assume that good riding position. So you come into it with those elbows in, with those shoulders rolled back, and you're into it now. Let's go for another one of those. Maybe adding a couple more points onto that RPM, but no need to go into that red zone yet. We got time to put some speed into it. Just going into that yellow zone for now, in 2, in 1, let's go.
Cause I fell in love with you. Doesn't make sense, but it's true.
Another minute on the clock.
I can't help myself. Gotta get help cause I can't.
That's what we like, all right. Just staying in, remember copying that technique. Trying to sort of mimic it. Doing that same thing I'm doing. Staying strong with it. Everyone up. Possibly trying to push into those hundreds now. Best way to warm up really is to get into that low resistance and hit those high cadence, hit them speeds at a low resistance, which feels nice. The reason it feels nice is because you're slowly starting to warm up, you're slowly starting to get into it. That's the point of this. That's the point of why we're here, team. 2, 1, slowing it down, lovely stuff. We're just going to go into a 1 30-second push now. Now if you want to, only if you want to, let's push into that red zone. Let's just spike the heart rate a little bit. We won't be doing it later on. We won't be going up and down, but it's good to get a bit of speed into it. It's good to get used to that speed, team. Pushing that pace now, only 30 seconds. Now we're getting a bit more into a sprint. Still in resistance 1. Go for that. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Nice, Mac. Too easy, you got it. Pushing it forward. Come on, Mac, everyone driving up there. 3, 2, 1. Still getting those legs moving. Nice to slow it down. Resistance 2, I reckon. Bring it up for me. Remember, we're driving up there. So your resistance 1 and 2 are those slightly lower resistances. Those are the ones you can really get some speed in, but you've got to make the difference between that 1 and 2. 2, you should struggle to get into that red zone. 1, you can just get into it, but now we're going to hit between about 85 and about 105 now. So bring it ever so slightly down, but let's get some more speed into it. Another minute on the clock, team. 85 to 105, 2, 1. And the reason I give these big brackets of 20 RPM, you've got some big choice in there. It's just because we're getting used to it. Our legs are getting used to it. Lungs are getting used to it. But most importantly at this point, it's a time to set the intention of this workout. What do you, right now, want to gain from this? You would ask that yourself. Because remember, the aim of why we get on these bikes in general, the reason we do any movement is to become happier, to become healthier. And so have that as your ultimate goal, but you can have these little goals in between as well. You can have these little goals, but ultimately, we know what we're here for. We're here to improve, we're here to strive to be better. We strive to be happier and healthier, and that's what we're doing here. That's what I'm doing here, to try and help you do that. Keep it going, team. We've got 2, 1, swaying it down. Nice, hitting those yellow zones. Really trying to push up into that. We're pulling it back to once again. Go for another minute. Still in that resistance 2. And if you need to make those little changes of your resistances, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to sort of test out where you sort of want to be. 2, 1, let's go.
I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You wait to see if it's worth your while. So give me a roll. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me. Give me a roll. I'll take it to Mars. Oh,
who's in that yellow zone with me? Get up there, drive it forward. Starting to get it now as we hit those big numbers. Just watch me. 3, 2, 1. Now we're pulling it back. Those legs don't stop moving. This is the time we do that little 30-second burst again. So you can give me another quick 30-second burst, really attacking those numbers once again. Let's see if we can get into those high yellows this time. Let's see if we can all get into those hundreds. It's only 30 seconds before we're going to leave this resistance for now. Getting ready? Resistance 2, 30 seconds in 2, 1. Let's go. What numbers are we saying? Yes, Iggy! Yo, red zone. That's someone who's put some big intentions down for this class. That's what we like. Yes, Mark. Huge. Big up. All right, now it's time. Resistance 3, let's take it up there. Go into that power resistance. Remember, 3 and 4, those slightly heavier ones that you sort of have to really push down on each side. And this is also when we need to really hone in that technique. We sort of honed in on the upper body, which needs to stay nice and engaged, nice and still and locked in. Whereas your lower body needs to get that full 360. So when you're back nice and straight, your core engaged, you're working it around. So basically kicking your bum with your heel as you take it around. Kick out. If you don't get that 360, you're not utilizing all your legs, and you've got these massive muscles in your legs, the biggest muscles in your body. And they're pushing it around. So let's go again. Another minute on the clock. 2, 1, let's go. 80 to 95 is your aim now. We're honing in on those numbers. 80 to 95 is where we should all be. If you're going too easily beyond that, your resistance is too low. If you're struggling to get into 80, the resistance is too high. We're sat down again, remember? We're sat down. That's all good. Somehow in this small way, minds begin to shrink when everyone is to fade. Staying strong in this pace. Remember, consistency, especially during an endurance class, consistency is the key. As long as you're holding on to that same number. 3, 2, 1, lovely stuff. Right, slowing it down. Notice this constant sort of moving the whole time, keeping those legs moving. And that's what we're doing, but I'm giving you these little breaks. I'm giving you these little sort of slow motion bits, these little recoveries, because you're not going to get many of them during the actual working phase. I'm not going to give you many. Going again, 60 seconds. Oh, ready, set, let's go. Can't stay longer in this time, I wanna waste no time. The other class was telling some people that one of my year goals, one of my resolutions was to do more competitions, more races and stuff like that. I got roped into one in 3 weeks' time. That, I can assure you, is not long enough to train for. So I'm going to have to go off my own flexibility. It's not a flexibility competition, my own fitness. It's called the Turf Games in London. It's sort of like CrossFit. And no time to train. And I just said, yeah, I'll do it. So I'm using every single opportunity, including moments like this, to get some training in there. So this endurance one is all about building the engine for me. So that's my goal for this one, to help build my engine. 2, 1, slow it down. There you go, I've told you my goal. You keep your own goal, you keep your own sort of intention, how you want to feel at the end of this class, to yourself. But you know mine. Mine's to really work on that fitness, holding on to that sort of base level. And the way you do that is by not recovering that much. It's by keeping those legs moving, keep breathing, and staying on it, working that cardiovascular. Resistance 4, I reckon. Let's find it. We're going to stay sat down for now, but resistance 4 is the one you just want to stand up in. I'm not going to let you, because we're going to stay down there. We get ready to go. In. Sat down, 2, 60 seconds, 1. Let's go. So no one should be in yellow zone for this one. Sort of roughly between 70 and 85. This should be heavy, heavy, heavy. And now this is about that muscular endurance. I can tell you, something like this is going to help with my training, because this is how it's going to be. A lot of it's about power, so stronger together classes are super useful for my training, but things like endurance work as well. But they all do. They're all perfect for it. Here we go, we get a little release and we get our first official break. In 3, 2, 1. Little breather there. Little breather there. I'm going to go into your first 10-minute section. 10 minutes, completely constant without a break. And then I'm going to give you a super short break before we move on to your next section. Don't worry, don't panic. 10 minutes constant. You've got this wonderful long break now. In resistance force, you keep those legs moving. But we get ready to go. You're going to be going back and forth, 2 minutes in each, of resistance force stood up, resistance 1 speed, resistance 4 stood up, resistance 4 1 speed, resistance 4 stood up. So you've got 5 2-minute blocks, 3 stood up, 2 sat down in completely differing resistances, starting with that heavy climb. Everyone in the 60s. Don't want to be any lower, don't want to be any higher. Standing up, 2 minutes worth of work. 2, 1, let's do this. And remember, I'll repeat once again, we're sort of holding that slightly lower intensity. So you don't want to be on a mad high intensity for this. You let this sort of euphoric music guide you all the way. Two-minute solid climb in those 60s. Mark, get out there, join us. Remember, you don't want to go higher. If you go into green zone, either you're pushing that intensity too high and you're sprinting, which I don't want you doing, or, I'll repeat it again, your resistance ain't high enough. Because this should be burning. You shouldn't just be bouncing either side of this. Remember, your hips are hovering just over that C. That chest is pushed through, those shoulders are pushed back, driving all the way. Yes, Poppy. Boom, and already halfway. We got it. Remember what we do next? Next one is the fun one. But it doesn't mean it's not a break, it doesn't mean it's recovery. In under 30 seconds, we sit it down. It's not quite the fun one. It seems fun for the first 30 seconds, trust me. This is why it's good. But we sit down and we go into resistance 1. You're welcome. In the number resistance 1, you give me some big old speed. But we're still working phase. It's not a rest phase, so everyone in those hundreds. 100 minimum, 100 to 110. If you can push episodes higher, you go for it. 100 to 115 is your aim. In 2, 1, let's go. Speed. Here we go, we're in. Nice smile, yes, Ingy. Yes, Therese. Go on, Poppy. See what I meant? Fun, eh? This could be a 10-minute section, non-stop, no break at all. It's got a lovely little 10-minute section. I gave you that 15-minute warm-up. Woo! You're welcome once again. Driving it forward, let's go. Remember, 110s is where we are aiming for. Let's see where everyone's at, loving it. Come on, Mark, get out there. Loving it, Poppy, solid on those numbers. Halfway, minute done. 60 seconds to go. And then we're back up. And it's gonna be that big difference in which your legs suddenly, seize up. Right, 30. No one dropping off your numbers. Yes, Ingrid. Loving a bit of that Welsh spirit in here. Know what I'm saying? I've got some Welsh in me. Oh yeah. That's what we like. Standing up, resistance 4. 3, 2, 1. 4. Go on, Malk. Oh, then it changes. Remember, 60s is that number. You jump on it, you jump on that number, you find it. I don't mind where you are, remember, always with that 10 RPM buffer. I don't really mind if you're slightly higher or slightly lower in it, if you're in those high 60s or those low 60s. Because as long as you're working at that sort of level I'm describing, you should be all good. And this, remember, is you're sort of working at that, like, 75% of your maximum. I know you do have that break in a bit. Remember, we've got this climb, we've got the speed section, and we've got the other climb, and then we've got a little rest. Little heads up, team. We're halfway through this 10-minute round. Yo, that's something to celebrate. I call that a little celebration. I've not told you how long the break is going to be after. And I'll let you know now, it's not going to be long, but it's going to be a break nonetheless. But we do get to go. Yes, Mark, into that little set down section in a sec. Endurance, just holding on, climbing, going up a hill. So we're on a sort of rolling Tour de France style ride right now on these rolling mountains, on these rolling hills. Imagine the scenery right now. Woo! Beautiful scenery. Sweet, give me 20. Sitting down in 4, 3, 2, 1. Get it down, build it up, build it up, build it up. Who's going to get up here with me? Nice, there we go. Hundreds, team. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. I needed that. I needed that. Here we go. Yes, engage. Strong down. Come on, Mal. Get up there. Poppy 3 is holding it lovely and strong. Three minutes left of this 10-minute round. Yo, team, we've got halfway in the entire class. Again, these little celebrations. Now, whilst we're doing this, I want you to once again check in with yourself. The 3 things. Your technique. Are you still on that technique? Or is the fatigue getting to you and you're chucking yourself side to side like this, which we don't want? Number 2, are you always staying on your cadence? Look, I know we're having fun. We've got this music here. I'll talk to you about some competitions, but stay in your technique. Always check in with yourself. Your elbows always in, your back always straight. Those little things, just sort of ingrain it into your head. Last but not least, how's your intention going? Are you getting there? Are you heading to where you want to be? You're ready to stand up. Resistance 4 in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 2 more minutes in this 10-minute round. Remember, are you on track for your intention of this class? I could say that in general, of this year, of your life, but that'll get a bit deep. And I specifically said, at the beginning of this class, we're going to forget about everything else that's happening off the bike. We are only on the bike, and we're present with me. We are very present with me right here, right now. Tell you, team, I did Did a big leg session yesterday in preparation for this tournament I keep banging on about. So I know it's probably boring, but it's very exciting for me. But these climbs, I can tell you, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it big time. And I know what we've got coming up as well. So that's all good. Yo, we do this as a team. We're here to push on with this. Staying in your pace, team. 60s. 60s is where we want to be. "30 seconds time, that is your 10-minute round. Done. We've got under 20 minutes to go in the entire class. We get a little break coming up after this. When I say little break, I mean a little break. Mark's excited for it. Teresa's excited about it. It's a little break. I've warned you. I told you it's a little break. I haven't lied to you. Sitting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15 seconds only. Woo! Told you. Down to resistance 2 for me. Find resistance 2. Find it. Remember, not resistance 1, not resistance 3, resistance 2. 2-minute race. Ready to go to the track? Yeah, I reckon we are. You've had a lot of practice. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So this is 2 minutes. And I don't want you giving me your 100% because we've still got plenty to do after this. We've still got plenty to do. But you can give me a bit of speed now. We're over halfway, we're feeling warm. We can put a little marker on the board. So remember, this is resistance 2. So if you've got that RPM meter in front of you, if you do, you shouldn't really be able to get into red zone. Not in resistance 2 for 2 minutes. Absolutely not. It's much too high for that. We are 1 minute down. We're less than 60 seconds to go.
We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars. Under the stars, baby, love again. Oh, baby, love again.
Come on. Go on, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Keeping those legs moving, just slowing them down. We never stop those legs moving. We're going to check out those scores on our team. Keep those legs moving. In fact, you can drop it down into resistance 1 if you like. Wow, look at those numbers. Huge stuff on the board. Teresa out on top, Hoppy smashing as always. Guys, into resistance 1. 9-minute round coming up. Resistance 1, non-stop. 3, 2, 1, go. I didn't even tell you what we're doing. Doesn't matter, resistance 1. Give me some speed. 9 minutes. 3 rounds of 3 minutes. With no break in between. Remember, resistance 1, give me some speed, hundreds. And we're still in that endurance, so this is about holding on. So what we're going to do, every minute, we add a little bit of resistance, but you hold your cadence. Got it? Yeah, you do. So 9-minute round overall. Minute 1 in resistance 1. Minute 2 in that touch of resistance. Minute 3, add another touch of resistance. Minute 4, back down to resistance 1. Then we do that 3 times in total. Speed endurance, baby. 9 minutes speed endurance round. Adding a little bit in 2, 1. Keep your eyes on your RPM. Don't let it drop. And just because you've added a little bit, you might think that wasn't actually that much. But the fact that you did add something, and you've got to do another minute of it, and then another minute again, is where it gets tough. All you've got to look forward to is the fact that after each 3-minute block, we're back down to the original resistance 1. So keeping your eyes steady on that RPM. And this is about consistency. This is about speed and power and everything. This is about control. Got it? Yeah.
I was ruled out with no bail out on my own, all alone, left to bleed out.
10 seconds time. Out again.
Just like I was spellbound, all the odds were against me.
2, 1, add. Yo, how are we doing? Let me know how we're doing, team. Show me some emojis. Who doesn't love a speed endurance round? We should all be holding on to that same number. I wasn't overly bothered about what you were hitting in that first minute. What I do care about is that you hold that same number. You don't dip down. Yes, Poppy. Yes, Inky. Go on, Mac. Bit of speed endurance feels like this, doesn't it? Like we're going to take off.
So I've been told that I should hold and give in. I can't win.
Holding on to those numbers. 8 seconds time. We drop it down back to that original resistance 1. So those legs get a little break. 2, 1. Take off those additions. Oh. But that feels nice. But yo, we pushing on.
I'm winning this race, give me some space. I'm a movement and I ain't losing.
So we're into round number 2 of 3. 3 rounds of 3. This is number 2. And you're only in the beginning. You're in the easy bit. You're in the, dare I say, recovery. It's not though.
I'm about to explode.
Big effort. Also, those are for the races. That's for every single one of you who completed in that race, who competed in that and it completed it. Both of them. 10 seconds time. We make that addition. You add that first little bit.
I ain't asking for permission, no.
Adding in 2, 1. Let's go.
I ain't staying in the background, no, 'cause I don't need your worry. I'm a movement and I ain't losing. Gonna go, 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 go. Like a bullet, don't take no bullshit. You should know, no, I'm about to explode.
You got the next edition coming up. It's going to be 5 minutes done in your 9-minute round. You've only got 4 minutes left of this round after this. Ready to add again? Remember, this is your top of your sort of resistance 1 additions. Adding again, holding on to your number. 2, 1, add. You're staying on your paces. This is the one, the top of the fast ladder, if you will. The hardest sort of resistance one you can do, if that makes sense. Big tune coming here from lovely Diane Shez. Loving it. Guiding us through as we're coming into our final little push, guys. As we're coming into our final little push, but remember, we get to take off that resistance. We head back into that fast resistance one, trying to hold those hundreds, but more specifically, trying to hold your number. Also, team, we're coming into that final 10 minutes. Let's go. Ready to drop it down to resistance 1, dropping those little things up. 2, 1. Loving it, team. We're working so well. You're all superheroes. Every single one of you. So you're at the bottom of it now. So you're nice and easy, so you can pick up that pace once again. 30 seconds time. Soon I can't wear any other colors. Bruises covering our walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in everything. We had that a little bit. We've got 2 minutes left of your 9-minute round, team. We've got 9 minutes overall, including that stretch. Give me some noise, team. Let me know you're still there. Driving it forward. Remember, you get that little break coming up after this again. Adding a little bit. In 2, 1. Let's add 2 minutes left of this round. How are we doing? Everyone's going super strong. Yes, Ingy. She's added that touch again. Speed endurance round. On the surface, you're thinking, whoa, bit of fun there. Not when you look into it for this long. Don't you worry about me, yeah. Don't you worry about. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even laughing at the truth you tell me. Keep myself inside the lines, feeling tired all the time. If you ask me, final little addition coming up. In 2, 1. Just because the music drops doesn't mean you do. Yo, if anything, it means you compensate. Big tune. Don't worry, Mark, we're back in. We're back in. Oh, you got that break coming up after this. It's a short break again, though, Truth. Don't worry, Poppy. How is everyone's legs doing? Living the dream? I bet you are. Follow me, let me waste your time. Set up beat, do some stupid shit. Take a seat, let me waste your time. Top of tower. You have 3, 2, 1. Take yourself up to resistance 2. For every single one of you, that should still be more additions. That should still be slightly higher than where we just were. We slowed it down. Back on the track? I think so. Ready to beat that number you did last time. 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 2-minute race once again. Thought that I knew better. Keep falling for your innocence, acting like you're into me. I know this is hopeless, moving in slow motion, trying to control my thoughts, but I can't stop our box dog. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is 90 seconds. Then we get a short break before we come into your final round. And this is why we let those legs go. And remember what I said. We work at that slightly lower intensity, but as we get through this, it gets tougher. We have to push harder, we have to look into it a bit more. Thanks, feeling it. Only one more round after this. One more round. Remember trying to beat that score that we did last time. And look at those teams. Yes, ma'am. I've got threes in one team. Me and Poppy on another.
Talk to me, baby, I've been waiting for a lifetime. Just keep on fading in all these photos, caught in the memories and captured in the highlights. Just keep on wasting glass after glass. I keep hoping you'll come around.
2, 1.
Whatever can be found, 'cause I've given in to all my demons.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Look at those numbers. Team, guess who was on top? This guy. You're your winner right here, Benny P. Let's finish this off. Resistance 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. Resistance 3. Your winner right here. Guess what I get? Some of this. All for me. Every single one. I'll eat them all. Keep going. You're into your final 2 minutes. Right now we're in resistance 3, holding about 85 to 95. When I say go, which is only for the last 30 seconds, you go into resistance 4 and you give me an all-out sprint. Can you do that for me? I think you can. So we get ready to go with my favorite song to finish off with. There we go. Let's burst that up. When I say go in 45 seconds, you're gonna give me absolutely everything. You stand up, you give me an all-out sprint. Right now we're holding that tension in those legs. This is it. This is when you need to be most present. But this time I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the RPM. This is about effort. This is about finishing off everything you can. Ready to go out there, team. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're feeling strong. Because we go in 10. Jumping out there. Oh yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. What you got for me? What you got? Go! I'm here with you. We got the final 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Resistance 0. Resistance 0. Team, talk about an epic class. That's what happens when you stay present. That's what happens when you forget about everything else that's happening around you, in the world, in general, in your lives, and you just think about what's happening right there on the bike right now. You put a performance like that, and especially when we got so many people on that leaderboard, just giving it everything, communicating, talking to each other, and just giving it your all, especially in an endurance class where you've got that extra time. And then you have to give something at the end. And then I ask you to put in that big shift at the end in that final sprint, and every single one of you do it. That's special. Keep those legs going. Close your eyes, take a big deep breath in. Breathe out. Once more. From there, you're going to stand up, come forward, stopping those legs, pushing those hips down, push your bum back. Getting that stretch down those hamstrings. Let's spin around the other way. Doing that same thing. From there, I want you to lay your arms up over your head, team, nice and tall. and then bring you down to your heart center where I want you to give yourself a big round of applause. As always, team, thank you guys. Thank you for being such legends, team. Making sure, as always, when we finish, we click pause, and so we save our workout against our other workouts, team. And last but not least, you're finding us on socials, and you're checking out our Facebook page as well, so you can chat to us. You can chat to me as well. Thank you so much, guys, for being heroes, for being legends. As always, team, thank you for joining me on Motosumo. My name is Ben. You guys are heroes. I'll see you later. Goodbye.